Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about this week's property news. Again, I have to say this every week, there is so much going on at the moment, but this one is particularly a busy week. We're talking about landlord grants of £30,000, mortgage rates being cut, house prices being down, and the potential for landlords to end up in prison under a new Labour proposal. So you're going to want to know about everything that's happened there. If you're new around here and you haven't done already, please do subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We've got new property content every single day. I'm talking property investing, house prices, interest rates, and much, much more. And let's get some views on this video. How do we do that, you ask? Simple. Smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That massively helps with the YouTube algorithm. And then share the video so you can WhatsApp it, email it, or Facebook message it to someone that needs to know what's going on in the property world right now. So, a busy, busy, busy week. So much stuff's going on at the moment. You've got the tariff stuff, which is absolutely bonkers. Those that have watched this channel for a while might know, or maybe you've read my book, Expert Mastery. And in that, I talk about my first business, which was an iPod accessory business. And we used to buy hundreds of thousands of pounds of products from America, and not as much, tens of thousands of pounds of products from China. And I could imagine if we were in that business right now, it would be chaos. And that is going to impact the market significantly. Some say it's Donald Trump's art of the deal and he's trying to push the Fed to cut rates. Well, that could potentially be good for property. Even if it doesn't, mortgage rates have dropped this week off that tariff chaos. So let's talk about that first. So mortgage rates, there are now 5 lenders that have cut rates. We did a detailed video on that, so do go back and check the old videos on the channel. Click below where it says Property Accelerator, then you can click on videos and you can see the video there where we talked about that. But who did cut? Well, we had cuts from TSB, which was a big one. We had Generation Home that cut. We had Coventry Building Society. We had Clydesdale that cut more than 0.6%. And we had Empowered Mortgages cut as well. I did mention as well, they're just about to launch a new property podcast and I'm featured on one of the first episodes of that. So do check that out. I'll let you know when that comes out so you can go and watch it. So those mortgage cuts have happened. More are likely to happen because banks like HSBC, NatWest, Coventry, Empowered, Clydesdale, they borrow on something called the SONIA swap rate. And that's a prediction of where mortgage rates or interest rates are going to go. And that's dropped sharply since this trade war started a week and a half ago. And so a lot of us are expecting that potentially over the next few days and weeks, you will start to see more lenders cutting rates. Not only that, the market has slowed down dramatically. So they need to be more competitive in order to get your business. So even if interest rates hadn't dropped or the rate that they can borrow at hadn't dropped, we were expecting rates to go down at this time. In the first quarter this year, January, February, March, we had 500,000 properties sold. Now the next 9 months, we're only expecting another 500,000. So that's a real slowdown. So mortgage rates, go and check out the video on that if you're looking to get a new rate and see what's going on there. House prices. Well, we had some conflicting data here. Not too much of a conflict, but we had Nationwide saying the market was flat. For a long time, they've been saying it's been going up. And they had the annual increase at something like 4%. And now Halifax have come out and said that they've seen a big drop this month or in March of 0.5%. That is a massive drop in just 1 month. And that could continue because the stamp duty stuff has come into effect now. That means there's less buyers in the market, which we know, massive drop in buyers at the moment. And we've also got the stamp duty increase, which means that people will be reluctant to pay what they would have been able to pay if they bought in January. So they'll be negotiating to get discounts. So this could start to get some momentum. Now, you might get the April and May data saying it's a flat market or a smidge up just because they were deals that started and got through just in time for that stamp duty thing, but the data didn't go through by then. So house prices, according to Halifax, are down 0.5% for May. Next, this is the biggest topic that we've had this week, and this is the EPC grants. Now, this is good news, and I'm going to link to the ebook below. More than 1,000 people downloaded that ebook this week alone, which is bonkers. And there's a more in-depth video on that. So again, do go and check out that EPC video. But the government have said and given funding for grants for properties that have tenants that earn under £36,000. So if you have a tenant that earns under £36,000, you can get a grant, meaning you don't have to pay it back. It's not a loan, which is wonderful, to do your property up. And you can spend it on certain things. Ground source heat pumps, solar panels, 30 grand will get you a lot of solar panels, insulation for walls. Those things can be done in order to improve the EPC. Now, you've got to have an EPC that's a D or an E. Your tenant has to earn under £36,000 per year. And you've got to be in one of the postcodes which we put in the ebook. And I'll link that again down below so you can grab that. Do grab that and just see all the details on that. It's a very good scheme. It doesn't cover every postcode. It does cover all of the country though, and more postcodes should be added over time. So I think that's something to keep an eye on, or maybe get going straight away if you're in a postcode that's eligible for that. That is a win. Now, one of the downsides is after the work's done, you can't put the rent up for 5 years. But if you've got 30 grand for nothing, who cares? That's going to increase the value of your property. And also, if you get to a level C, there are now lenders like Barclays that will give you a lower interest rate if you have an EPC of level C. So that's something to consider here as well. So I think this is a good scheme. I hope they roll it out to more people, and I hope they increase the actual salary, because I don't really understand the salary part. I guess you're helping someone that's on low income to reduce their bills on energy costs and stuff like that. But I think it should be for everybody. And so let's see what happens with that. So do check out the EPC book, which we'll link below. Next, lastly, this one's interesting. A story about Labour. And so Labour have proposed in Scotland that landlords that evict tenants unfairly should go to prison for 2 years. That's mental. So that means that you could get landlords that really get unfairly treated in courts. I've seen that before, where you get a landlord and the tenant is always right in the court's eyes, and you could potentially unfairly, because a tenant's lied or done something wrong and you wanted to get them out, and maybe you didn't fill in a piece of paperwork right, end up with 2 years in prison. That's insane to me, but that's what the Scottish Labour Party are proposing. And remember, a lot of things that happen in Scotland first creep down into England and Wales as well. So we need to keep an eye on this and see if this actually does become law. I hope that everyone sees it's insane. To me, I think it's crazy. You've got so many things to deal with, bad landlords, fines, and all these kind of things. Putting them in prison is a bit insane to me, but we'll see what happens. So look, a busy week, lots happening. What could happen is rates could come down again in the next week. So as that happens, we'll be talking about that on the channel. Do subscribe, do hit that like button, and make sure you grab the fundamentals of property investing. It's on flash sale because we've just hit 40,000 subscribers now. So until Easter, we're doing it on flash sale for £20. It's the lowest price we've ever done. That's bonkers. So do go and check that out. It's £20 right now. And I'll link to that in the description as well. Do check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.